Okay, bud, look up here. Okay, are we going to talk about the racetrack or the race at Wilkesboro?
Let's just talk about the overall deal. It was a great deal. It's been so many years since this happened. I had a race up there, but I think people were more enthused about just going back to the racetrack than they were about the race. I mean, we had that truck parade through town and stuff, and they probably most people that ever had in Wilkes County.
And they was from
everywhere.
Far away off. Yes, sir. My grandson come in and went with me from Texas, and he planned his trip home to see the parents and the grandparents and all that. And there's a lot of stuff fooled me. The fall off on the tires wasn't as bad. Where the 43 started, I thought they'd get lapped quick, and that didn't happen. There was a tire rule that was in place that with circumstances it wasn't used, and
it was a very clean race.
It was a clean race.
But the big deal when I went back up, started looking at the track and all that stuff, and the track looked completely different to me than what I remember, because they've got fences on both sides of the racetrack. So all of a sudden, before it was all open, and all that stuff. So that really changed. The only thing I seen that I thought was really original, besides the racetrack itself, was they had a scoreboard up at the end.
The old scoreboard.
Where they used to put up the different, if you was leading the race or fourth or fifth, they'd put you in the...
Yeah, they left that, but golly, Richard, the work they done on it. You got to give your hat off to the people that done it and everything. And then the talk about the traffic getting out and everything. I think everybody got out great, and the truck drivers, we talked to them today, and they held them 2 hours, and they said they drove out and everybody was gone, and I thought that was great. And the highway patrol, they done a great job.
They'd had a little bit of experience with already having races there.
Yeah.
Okay. And so, probably every race was probably a little bit better. But by this time, they had everybody routed which way they needed to go. And, it was just one of the deals that everybody up there, all the state highway patrol, the sheriffs, the people parking people, everybody couldn't have been more courteous.
They just tickled to see. Everybody was tickled to see everybody, But you're talking about routing people, everybody. They didn't have much to work with. Everybody had to go one way, but they made that work, and that was good.
I think a lot of people that I talked to went just to see the racetrack, or went to see because it was a happening that hadn't happened in 27 years or whatever it was, and just wanted to see what all the fuss was about. And then all of a sudden, they had a race.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the race was really not a race. It was kind of a parade, because the surface on the track's been there 47 years, and it's still there. And it's not any rougher or any different, basically, than what it was when we used to run it.
Me and you go back when it was dirt, and so that's telling our age. But, it's probably one of the better pit roads we've seen all year, Richard.
I told them they did the pits cement, and then they asphalted the deal. What they ought to done is pitted the cars on the racetrack and let them run around that particular part. I think it would probably been more exciting anyway.
But it's probably one of the only places. Maybe I kind of forget what Martinsville is right now, but probably 5/8 of the pits was racetrack. It was, and like we go to Charlotte this week, and the front stretch is where the pits are at. But the pits was just about as long as the racetrack. But I don't know. But me and you went to see the 42 and the 43 win the race, which they didn't. But the 43 ran awful good, and then Noah and knowing his character and everything, he got voted into the race from the open, and that was that was great for the fans. And I heard them. I was up in the truck, and they was talking different strategy because the tire rules was different this week and everything, and none of that come into play, and it was hard to understand. And some of them carried it out. They was some of the good cars and good teams, and I hate to classify it like that, but they pitted under green, and I seen no way to
catch back up.
Catch back up. And
if it had a caution or something, it'd have been a different race. But the race was so clean, they just had 2 incidents on the race.
Yeah, there was no wave around or none of that stuff, But there was some teams. Only one team I know of that carried out changing 2 tires, and the rear 2 tires. I don't believe I've ever heard that strategy used before, but we've used some different stuff, but I've never come up with anything like that, and evidently it didn't work that good, so the other teams didn't use it.
But overall, I think that everybody that went to Wilkesboro to see the show, and that's what it was, your big show, I think they went away pretty satisfied with the way it was carried out. Everything was clean, new, neat, painted, and so I think it from that standpoint, then the people will come back, okay, and maybe next time we can have a better race.
Yeah, I don't know what they do to have a better race, but they said there was a concert out there that you didn't even know hardly was going on. They said there was a group there that probably couldn't even get in the grandstand when it was over. So they. We was in that suite, and we looked out and over the banks and the fields and the way they has parked everything. It was organized, Richard, and I never seen so many Porter Johns in my life, and them big buses that the drivers own and all that. Of course, your bus, they was parked in places them buses wasn't supposed to go.
I know we parked on the hill like that and had to jack up the back and still couldn't. I took a shower and all the water was in one corner.
Yeah.
But anyhow, overall, I think it was a very satisfying weekend for the majority of the people that went.
So we'll give our word of approval for the Wilkesboro weekend.
Right. Now, next time, I don't know. But now we'll just get ready and go to Charlotte, watch a 600-mile race.
And, 600 miles at Charlotte. That's been a long race forever, and it'll be a long race Sunday night.